Ladies and gentlemen on YouTube, it's the Natural Born Driller, and welcome everyone to All Elite Wrestling Reviews, where it tends to give you AEW Dark Crit results from March 16th, 2021, and where it tends to giving you AEW Dynamite presenting St. Patrick's Day Smash results, the show from March 17th, 2021. And we'll get to the Dynamite portion of it. Before we do, obviously, we're going to get to the results for AEW Dark. Now, before I do get to that, I just wanted to point out, because I remember telling you all before, where it tends to the AEW Dark Elevations, that I was giving you a cliffhanger there about, I was going to talk about this whole thing of the purpose of having AEW Dark Elevation on Mondays for. Because where it tends to the AEW Dark Elevation, that show to me has more leg on the stand, where it tends to grab my attention and grab my enthusiasm and to grab my appreciation and to grab my interest of watching something on every Monday night, where it tends to seeing up and comers on AEW, where it tends to these talents. Now, not all of them are all elite, because obviously not all of them are signed to AEW. They're just there because they're in support and tends to during these difficult times that we're doing this pandemic. So with that being said too, and all, that not only to establish those new faces on AEW Evolution, but also the feature the familiar faces that we've seen on AEW Weekly on Dynamite, even on pay-per-views, even more tends to to a degree on Tuesday's Dark. So it's a good exposure for the show for AEW Dark Elevation, especially when we got the best team commentators in Tony Schiavone and Paul White. That alone it should be good too, because some people want to hear how Paul White can handle himself on behind the desk of on the headsets of commentary, which I think he's doing a splendid job. He's not great, I mean, I'm not expecting any good old JR of old. I'm not expecting a Don West of old. I'm not expecting where it seems to him bringing a whole lot to the table. I mean, he does bring something to the table on commentary, because he's a good talker, he's a good promo, cutter too and all, where he's not being shoved down our throats like during his time in WWE. But he's terrible. He's good. I can tolerate him. I mean, and again, he's no Excalibur, but he's terrible. For me to get behind. And he's definitely no Taz. I'll say that too. No, I could go on this one too. No, but I'll tell you one thing. He's better than Josh Matthews. I'll say that. I gotta find a way to sideswipe Josh Matthews, huh? But anyways, with that being said, folks, with Dark Elevation, I can understand there's a purpose of watching AEW Dark Elevations, especially how they format the show. On that first episode when they give us a 2-hour show with a couple of matches that really didn't mean not much to anyone that even kept anyone's interest. Because I lost a couple interest with a few matches on that show. Those matches I did care for, like the women's matches I care for. I care for the Jungle Boy match. I care for the Ethan Page match. Well, actually, no, he wasn't on there. Not that I think about it. Yeah, he wasn't on that show yet. But we'll get to that when we get to episode we're to episode 2 of it. But Matt Sydal and his brother Mike Sydal as well. Kenny Omega was there. Even though I didn't get the purpose of him being there in the first place, other than what happened. No, oh my God, the whole thing with Tony Khan, that whole thing. Jeez. But the one thing that grasped me most likely was Riho and Maki Ito of their match, from which it was the main event, which routines that the problem of it, a 2-hour show that I'll have a sit through just to get to that main event, but some bullshit they have along the way. So it's whatever and all right. It's, hopefully they'll learn from that. Now, with that being said, too, what does this mean for moving forward for AEW Dark? Is this the end of AEW Dark, or just every Tuesdays because you got AEW Dark Elevations? Nope, because they're still doing AEW Dark matches every Tuesday nights as well. And I'm saying to myself, why? When you have AEW Dark Elevations, why do you need 2 Dark episodes? For on the same week. When you have one enough already, that was a 2-hour from Monday, and then the next one was about almost an hour and a half, with what 15 matches maybe. We'll go through it though, but 15 matches to go through on the AEW Dark after you just give us a 14 matches on Dark Elevations. Who the fuck want to watch that much wrestling for AEW? No disrespect to AEW, and I should be able to complain, because the lack of complaint over the years of wrestling is that there's not enough wrestling. And I'm talking about the East part of it, but holy cow, man! I understand you want to do a lot of matches, but 15 up to 16, and look, I'm talking about. And yes, and yes, folks, they did 16 matches before on AEW, since the AEW Dark, and which is why those shows were way too long. Like, you don't need that much matches, and all those matches don't mean shit anyways, because all those matches are squash matches. There's nothing different that they do on Dark that they do on Dark Elevations. It's the same format. Or the what segments that they do for Elevations, because guess what? You also had they also did the same thing with the whole thing with with Dark, with Britt Baker doing the whole waiting room, which by the way I missed that, by the way. I don't understand why we don't got that anymore. Like, you're not gonna this is not the way to drive new people to come in to watching more of AEW. Because people are going to see as it is. It's a bunch of matches that not going to mean shit at the end of the day, and that's a problem. That's a big problem. I don't know how to put it in there, but so yeah, I understand there's a purpose for AEW Dark Elevations, but there's no purpose, no reason at all to do AEW Dark on Tuesdays. No reasons at all. And this made me want to start watching it. I'll still watch it. But what I'm gonna do is, there's a button, there's a setting there for YouTube where you go just speed it up. So that's what I'm gonna do. Where it tends to AEW Dark. As far as Dark Elevations, that's the show I will not be doing that, because I will be tuning to those shows every live Monday night, to watch. Better than watching Raw, I'll say that. But AEW Dark Elevations is something is for me to pay a lot more attention of than to go through what's going on AEW Dark on Tuesdays. Now, to go through the results of it, that's all I'm going to do for there. Just give you results, and I'm not going to talk about the segments of it, because AEW Dark doesn't mean anything to me at this point now. Because when you have AEW Dark Elevations, that's something for you to talk about, for everyone to pay a lot more attention to, and to review more than AEW Dark itself. But there you go. That's all I gotta say from there. And with that being said, then we can move on. Returns to AEW Dark results from March 16th, 2021 at Daily's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. Your commentators, as usual, were Taz, Excalibur, and Anthony Ongogo. And let's get right to it. Luchasaurus defeats Cesar Bononi, who is being accompanied by Pretty Peter Avalon. Layla Hirsch, who's legit, she defeats Savannah Evans. Savannah Evans, she looked pretty good, by the way. I'll say that, and that's all I'm going to say from there. And I want to see more of her. John Silver defeats John Skyler. Yeah, we had 2 Johns. Penelope Ford, being accompanied by Kip Sabian, defeats Tesha Price. By Tesha Price's new thing that she's a psycho. I think I talked about that before, but I don't remember if I did or not, but I digress. Chaos Project, Dr. Luther and Serpentico defeats Fuego del Sol and Jake St. Patrick. Oh, all right, I got mentioned this too, by the way, folks, before I move on. Fuego del Sol from his last match with QT Marshall from Dark. I should have mentioned this. You know, there was a story where Fuego del Sol, who's supposed to be called the master of the tornado DET or the swinging DET, you know, however you want to put it, and he never hits it until finally he did hit it, except he couldn't capitalize on QT Marshall. So and that was the match that I thought was good between both of them. Now the issue here is now for Fuego del Sol is that he can hit the move now, and he hit it here too. But now his thing is now he's got to win matches. Is he ever going to win a match now? Especially if he's ever going to win a match with the tornado DT or the swinging DT, however they put it. I think it's the tornado DT, you know, the way he does it. But because he's called the master of the tornado DT. So, but there you go. That's all I want to say from there. But like I said, Chaos Project, they won the match. Kylan King defeats Jasmine Allure. Obviously, because Kylan King is taller than Jasmine Allure, but Jasmine Allure is good either way. So, you know, with her size, too, you know, she reminds me of AJ Lee in a way. You know, since her height, her size, and the way she wrestles, and the way she kind of acts. I mean, not on the on that type of acting level like AJ Lee, but yeah, yeah, look her up though. Jasmine Allure, that's her name. Dark Order of Coco Cabana, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, and 5. They defeated Angel Fashion, Baron Black, Barry Morales, and Rising in the 8-man tag team match. The Gun Club, Billy Austin and Colton Gunn, defeats David Ali, Adam Priest, and Seth Gardish in a 6-man tag team match. Bear Country, Bear Boulder and Bear Bronson defeats Dean Alexander and Brick Ridge. Nick Camarado being accompanied by QT Marshall defeats D3. Varsity Blondes Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. defeats Jorel Nelson and Royce Isaacs. Maddie Rankowski, defeats Vervixen. Now, I think about these two, by the way. Maddie Rankowski, which I already talked about her before, folks. You already know who I mean by her. But as far as Vervixen, both of them are trained by Thunder Rosa. Now, who I like out of the two here? Obviously, Vervixen. But they're pushing Maddie Rankowski up being something, which I don't understand why. To me, I don't think she's that good at all. She's shown a little improvement. And this match here showed a lot of improvement too. And she won the match here, by the way. She defeated Vervixen. Basically, it was all about competition. Tends to I can't remember how it was put up that way, and because they're both trained by Thunder Rosa. But either way, yeah, I thought it was decent. SCU, Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels defeats Carly Bravo and Aaron Solo. Ricky Starks and Brian Cage have a little dissension in this match, but nothing to its fruition. Which I forgot to mention that too, by the way, folks. But I'll get to more of that later. Because I forgot to mention this part when it comes to what happened on that Dynamite show from my last review. I didn't get to mention it because I completely forgot about that. But Ricky Starks and Brian Cage of Team Taz, they defeat Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. And finally, the main event was 10 of the Dark Order defeats Jack Evans. Dark Order's on 10. Your advanced person wrestling, I meant to say. He has a bleeding in this match. I don't know how it came to that point because something that Jack Evans did. I don't know. It was obviously you couldn't really tell how he was bleeding and all because he was wearing the mask and everything. And you have negative one. I meant to say. Brody Lee Jr. on commentary with Excalibur and Taz on this whole thing. But yeah, number to say about that. Because I heard there were reports there were heat. I don't know. I didn't really read the article. I heard there was heat. Know that backstage where teams but number 10 game but busted open. Um, I don't know if Jack Evans got heat. I don't know if I don't know. I just don't know. I didn't read the article of it, but you know, maybe that's something I should look into. But I digress. But yeah, there you go, folks. That was your AEW Dark results from March 16th, 2021. 15 matches worth of talking about wrestling, folks. Compared to what we have on Dark Elevation with 14 matches, here we have 15 more matches on another episode of Dark this on a Tuesday. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, folks. Exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, if you're going to continue to do AEW Dark matches every, Dark shows, I meant to say, for Tuesdays, every Tuesdays, shorten the matches. Cut down the matches, because you're already doing a lot of matches on AEW Dark Elevations. There's no need to do more matches on AEW Dark. That's all I'm saying. But there you go, folks. And now we can move on to AEW Dynamite. What pertains to AEW Dynamite, the show from March 17th, 2021, pertains to St. Patrick's Day, which the theme of AEW Dynamite was St. Patrick's Day Slam. That was at Dave's place in Jacksonville, Florida, with good old Jr. Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur on commentary. And the show that was building up a lot more on the show was the main event for the women's of Dr. Britt Baker DMD versus Thunder Rosa in the unsanctioned Lights Out match. And we'll get to that later. Right now, we gotta get to what happened from the opening show here, which it features, first of all, MGS crew arriving earlier on that day, from their private jet, heading into the limo, and that's basically it. Basically, it reminds me of Evolution with Triple H, Batista, Ric Flair, Randy Orton leaving their chopper, heading into the limos, and you know, they're in the suits and all that, and they're buttoning up the suits and everything and all that, you know, looking sharper as they are, and yeah, that's basically what MGS crew were doing. Now we'll get to the name later, and I'll let you know how I feel about the name itself. Even though I already let you know beforehand how I feel about the name from the previous review of where it things to Dynamite. Excuse me. But we had Penta El Zero Miedo. He cut a promo first. He was backstage, obviously. When that promo came cut first, was just on the the square screen of it, where Alvarez was translating what he's saying that he's going to break the arm of Clay Rose and Simon early paternary and whatever, and yeah, and then he says that Penta is going to drive him onto the top, onto Cody as he was Cody starts walking down, as Penta start walking down the ramp, I should say. Actually, I got that all mixed up there. I think Cody Rose was walking down, and then that's when Penta started attacking Cody, being around our ringside. So basically, that's when match 8 got on the way. But yeah, Cody Rose came out there alongside with Arn Anderson. So Penta Zero Middle versus Cody Rose started right from the get go. And I was enjoying the match. How it was being presented, how they were all going at it. At one point, they had a steel guardrail there, left it there, and then also used it later on, which I was fine. I didn't really mind that much and all that, but so then we get to the part where they're back in the ring and everything, and oh yeah, I gotta mention this too, by the way. When Penta was sent to the guardrail, he was sliding right down off of it, and I thought that was funny when that happened. I can't remember how Cody Rose did it though, so I think that's like a tope suicida. Yeah, that's what it was. And then Penta signed off the guardrail was funny. So Cody goes for some super kicks and all that, and Penta goes for Cody hits the American Destroyer. The Canadian Destroyer, but Cody Rose is American, so American Destroyer. So the match kept on going on and all that, and they were doing some cool spots in the match. Penta goes for his arm breaker onto Cody Rhodes. The same arm breaker that he always does in Lucha Underground, where he sets it up and all that, and then snaps it back. The arm breaker. He breaks the arm of Cody Rhodes. He starts celebrating early, for that, and Cody Rhodes just rolls him up, no selling the physicality of the broken arm by Penta Zero Miedo, and pins him. What? What the fuck was that? Well, I don't understand that at all. Why would you have Penta Zero Miedo do that move, only for Cody Rhodes to not sell it, just to get a roll up pin because Penta Zero Miedo took his eye off the ball? Are you fucking kidding me? You have Penta lose here and you have Cody win here for what? Oh my god, that was stupid. And then Cody Rhodes continue on saying after the match, like what's the point of it? You no sold it anyways. You roll up Penta Zero Miedo after you broke your arm. That was so stupid. Whoever booked that shit, they need to be a fucking shame of themselves. And I would not be surprised if it was Cody Rhodes just to get himself over on Penta Zero Miedo because you basically just bury his arm breaker there. I never seen anyone Lucha Underground take that move and then no sold it afterwards. Ridiculous. So much for that credibility of Penta Zero Miedo's arm breaker. That he worked so hard to get that over and to make it mean something at Lucha Underground, and now it's completely worthless on the show. And this ain't the first time it happened either. Happened with Ray Phoenix too, by the way. Ray Phoenix pinned Penta Zero Miedo after Penta Zero Miedo did that to him too, which late last year. And now here we go again. This time with Cody Rhodes, but this time it was worse with Cody Rhodes because Cody Rhodes, oh my god. So after the match, Penta kept on attacking Cody Rhodes. Just led to Dusty Rhodes coming out, and the Gun Club that were there, by the way, they were already there, and they're watching it on until Dusty Rhodes came out there. And as soon as Dusty Rhodes came out there, and our answer, by the way, he was just standing there while Penta Zero Miedo was kicking his ass, like he's afraid to get in there to stop him. So when Dusty Rhodes comes out, now it's time for our answer to come in there, and now it's time for the Gun Club to come out, from the railings and get in there. Huh? Why couldn't you? This made no sense at all. So Penta Zero Miedo is still out there, and like, what are you standing there for? The Gun Club. I'm talking about the Gun Club here, and obviously I'm not gonna talk about this Rose trying to get involved because he's there to come for his brother along with Arn Anderson, but the Gun Club, they see Penta Zero Miedo there. They want they're angry at what he did to Cody Rhodes, so go after him. Instead, they're just standing there like that's a kind of force field surrounding the ring that's preventing them to go through the ropes and go after Penta Zero Miedo. This is WWE fucking shit here. So Penta walks around, he goes on stage, and again they're just standing there watching him walking away instead of going after him. Who's booking this shit? You're making these baby faces look stupid. And then QT Marshall comes out. QT Marshall comes out, and they're mad at him because where were you? And like, I wasn't backstage, and I was watching the show in the living room over my cousins, and my cousin said he came in the right time, by the way, when he saw all this going down. he made joke of saying that he was in the bathroom. He didn't know what's going on because he was in the bathroom. And this reminds me of I gotta go back to this part. The Good Brothers, when they went out there, and it took them so long to go out to save the Young Bucks against, I forgot who was the ones that assaulted them. Can't recall. Oh yeah, it was the Inner Circle. Yeah, the Inner Circle. It was during that time, to build for Full Gear. What's the Full Gear? No, I'm sorry, Revolution. Revolution. My fault, folks. My fault. I'll think about FTR, that whole thing. Anyways, but it reminds me of that one where the Good Brothers were late, too late to save the Young Bucks from the assault that the Osaka was given on the Young Bucks, and K-Mega was being held back by Don Callis. So the Good Brothers were going to go out there, and they did a BTE skit, do a bit where I can't go out there to save them without using the bathroom first, and that's exactly what they did. They first Gallows went to use the bathroom, and then Carl Anderson said, "I gotta go too." Like, well, I guess in a way they try to make sense of why they were late to get there, but it still didn't make it feel any better, with that whole thing. And now, I told my cousin too, by the way, retains to when he mentioned that, because Gucci Marshall took long to come out there to help, because he was in the bathroom, and I told my cousin about that, so. Because I was like, it's funny you say that, because this was done a while back. Obviously it was for kicks and giggles and all that, but this one, my cousin got me cracked up for that one though. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me though that's why Gucci Marshall didn't come out though, because he went to miss bathroom first. Whatever. Yeah, so the Nightmare Friends are mad at him because he didn't come out there on time. Yeah, because the Gun Club got there right in the nick of time when Penta Zero Mil was being up on Cody Rhodes. From the start. They had to wait till Dustin Rhodes come out there first, and then they came in there. So they should be, it's a mess, folks. It's a fucking mess. And I thought AEW was going to be different from WWE. Alex Marvez. Oh, speaking of the Young Bucks. Interviewing the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson says that Phoenix beat him in a singles match, and he also has beaten Nick Jackson in a singles match, but they are a tag team, the best tag team. And also, thus, when Don Callis comes in to interrupt them and says to don't slap your leg when you're kicking, and then he gives him a shirt that says, basically for his dad, that says, that's what it says, don't slap your leg when you're kicking. Basically referencing WWE's new law where you can't slap your legs to kick anymore. That whole, I'm not gonna get into that because it's WWE's bullshit. Who cares what WWE's bullshit is nowadays? Because I don't watch that shit anymore, anyways. That should be a new shirt, by the way. Don't watch WWE anymore because I don't anymore. So, but he admits that the Young Bucks never really attacked him. So yeah, so now he's telling the truth about that whole thing. So he says that he actually wanted them to kick him because he wanted to see the old Young Bucks that they used to be back in New Japan. Bullet Club. So that's basically the story is. And there's a lot more that was said here too, but not gonna get into that much. So Jade Cargill makes her singles debut on Dynamite against the real mean girl, Danny Jordan, and she got an ass kick. I mean, she got some offense too, but this is all a showcase for Jade Cargill. She looks like a star. She smells like a star. She's a star at overall because look at her. She's basically look, she got the height. She's a total package. She's she's green, but based on how she performed here, I thought she did pretty well. The green is going to start wearing off pretty soon with Jade Cargill. Just sky's the limits for her. She got the win, obviously, because duh. At the match though, she went to face Red Velvet, who was there at ringside, watching on, along with the rest. And basically, that's still not over, which good. I want to see that match. I want to see that feud build up, and they are. They're building this up, and I'm glad they are. Jade Cargill. Her finishing move, by the way, the Jade Slam, by the way, it's basically Beth Phoenix Glam Slam, but she's calling it the Jade Slam, which good. And with her height too, by the way, with her being tall, yeah, she definitely needs that type of finishing move to get over. So, props to her. So, okay, now we get to MJF and his crew, which is Tully Blanchard, FTR, which is Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, Warlow, and Sean Spears. So Tully Blanchard, who obviously is going to be the manager of the group, says that it feels good to be in the right ring with the group of guys. He says last week, from the prior of, that prior of what happened with the Inner Circle, in the ring, the best group AEW had to offer and left them laying, which is again the Inner Circle. He says that that makes them the baddest group in AEW right now. Years ago, he was with the greatest group of guys in the history of pro wrestling, and now he will finish his career with the greatest group of guys in professional wrestling. And he threw up the four fingers, probably, representing the Four Horsemen. Basically referencing them as the Four Horsemen because he was part of that group. MGF says he got his time to talk. It wasn't easy having to take the backseat behind Chris Jericho for 6 months. Said every time Jericho spoke, he had to take a step as far back as Jericho's hairline. I got bring up that Moxley promo that they have when they start feuding for All Out. You'll get yours too. You just got hit puberty first. Anyways, he says that he sucked up and jived and pretended to like his bullshit, but it worked. Jericho thought that he was taking MJF under his wing. Meanwhile, he was plucking Jericho's feathers. Said that he fooled everyone into thinking that he wanted to take over the Inner Circle, so MJF wanted to see what was coming. Let me see. I'm trying to read this again. He wanted to take over the, thinking that he wanted to take over the Inner Circle, so MJF wouldn't see it coming. I think this person meant to write so that Jericho wouldn't see it coming, or whatever, or maybe the Inner Circle, whatever. Anyways, but from day one, the game was to destroy the Inner Circle from the inside, and on top of its remains, he wanted to build something stronger. And then MJF said that they are the pinnacle. And I remember all I could think about is they kept saying the word pinnacle every time. And it says that may not like their lineup, but you have to have respect. MJF runs down his crew of accolades. Again, we're just to FTR, Warlow, Sean Spears, and all that. And again, he kept saying the word pinnacle, the pinnacle, 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 the pinnacle. And that's what I came across. And the commentators references the name Pinnacle. So basically, and then basically MJF ends up by saying he's better than Jericho, and Jericho knows it. And he does it in a very aggressive promo. And either way, MJF is a very good promo either way. Now, as far as the name, so the name I can say now they're called the Pinnacle. Now, when they first started forming this group and they did what they did to the Inner Circle, I love it. And I was wondering what could be the a great name they can come up with where it takes to really stand out of being this group of factions where it takes to how they present themselves. And the best thing they could come up with was the Pinnacle. I hate it. I don't like it. Some people like it. I don't like it. Pinnacle should not be a name of a faction. You could be the pinnacle of a wrestler. You could be the pinnacle of a group. You could be the pinnacle of your promos and whatever have you. That's the meaning of the Pinnacle. A name faction for the Pinnacle, or even someone calling himself the Pinnacle as a nickname. It doesn't go well. You can describe yourself as a pinnacle of where you can be, but as far as being a group name or a nickname itself, and obviously what's more chance of this is the group's name, the faction's name, the Pinnacle. Not a fan of it. And I'm not a fan of that teacher either. I love the group. I hate the name. So there you go. But like I said, good promo from MJF and from Tully Blanchard. All we need now is to hear the rest of the factions to talk to. It can't just be Tully Blanchard and FTR. MJF talking. You gotta have FTR talk. You gotta have Warlord talk. You gotta have Shawn Spears talk too, because they could talk too. The Butcher and the Blade, Private Party, and Big Money Matt versus Jurassic Express. That will feature Marco Stunt, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus, and team up with Bear Country, which is Boulder Bear and Bronson Bear. And 10 minutes after the match, by the way, Marco Stunt almost got killed here. Like, holy shit, that scared the shit out of me. It was like some type of dive that they did from a system outside the ring. Like, that could have ended badly. Marco Stunt was getting some offense. That was ridiculous, by the way. And now the Asylum, some of the Asylum members finally see what I'm talking about with Marco Stunt. Now they finally see my point of view. Now they finally because now the trolling of putting Marco Stunt over is now over with the Asylum. Because to be honest with you, I'm getting so annoyed of these trolls of the Asylum when it comes to Marco Stunt. And now they see my point. Now they see the issue with Marco Stunt, of how AEW has been booking Marco Stunt, or it him getting some offenses. Hopefully, it will pertains to the Asylum, obviously. Hopefully, with the Asylum moving forward, we can bury all together Marco Stunt. Instead of doing the whole trolling job of, oh, Marco Stunt is great. He's the Pinnacle. Yeah, right. Anyways, in the end, it was the heels winning here. So there you go. And of course, you gotta protect Marco Stunt here of losing here too. By the way, you gotta protect Marco Stunt here because he's the Pinnacle, right? He's the future, right? Not really. Hopefully, the Asylum finally learn their lessons for trolling about how great Marco Stunt is. Anyways, what was I? Oh yeah, Jon Moxley. He isn't he isn't in a good mood, and he should be sitting on the beach where else, but instead he's here getting ready for another war. Well, that's your fault, and plus, it serves you right for making fun of Impact Wrestling or paying for the explosion botch. Moxley says the real problem is the Good Brothers, and they need to get rid of them. He thinks, he doesn't like them. You and me both, Moxley. Something we can agree on here, because this is the Good Brothers. This is not the Good Brothers that I'm used to be a fan of back in the days of New Japan, because they still got that stench of WWE on their entire bodies, and I don't like it. And I don't want to like it. Because they are cheap shot artists. And Aiken says that Gallows looks like Forky, and basically from Toy Story, by the way. Which that makes no sense because Forky and Gallows just look anything alike. I didn't get that at all. But they make fun of Chad Too Bad, which is quite innocent. But Keith says that they will keep making fun of them and making jokes, but
this isn't the Impact Zone. I understand why they said that too, probably because Anderson and Gallows are from Impact Wrestling. So, this is their home. Moxley and Kingston were against AEW. Y'all ain't never popped any nothing. Let's say, y'all ain't never shot any nobody, nothing. Excuse me. So stop fronting quoting 50 Cent. He says, and that they are cowards and cowards die 1,000 times, while soldiers like he and Moxley only die once. And that was it. I mean, good promos. Good promos. It was hard for me to keep up, though, with the promos, too, though. Christian Cage, he was being interviewed by Dasher Gonzalez. Christian Cage said that wrestlers that go around busting their asses every single night are called workhorses. He says that he makes wrestlers better by just getting in the ring with him, but he isn't a workhorse. He is the workhorse. He says anyone that has forgotten that will learn it quickly as soon as he gets back in the ring. Christian Cage says that he knows he may have ruffled some feathers with people thinking that he's getting a title shot. On the main in the main event, sing with Kenny Omega. He says that Kenny Omega is on borrowed time, and he knows that he's got to get some wins first to prove himself that he can go for a title. And he says that he is here in AEW to submit his legacy and outwork everyone. And all Christian Cage got to do now is prove all of us wrong with that. Now, I know he can, but based on what I've seen, we'll get to that eventually. But of what I've seen so far, I'll get to that. Just a cliffhanger there, where just a little teaser there of how I feel about his performance. When there's one wrestler he wrestled against on AEW Dynamite. Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston versus the Good Brothers. Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows. Or should I say Doc Gallows, excuse me. Eddie Kingston comes out first. He gets jumped by the Good Brothers on the entrance way. And then Moxley comes out, for the save. So they start battling and everything. Eddie Kingston, he's trying to fight, the Good Brothers here. One of them that went after him. But he got no offense. And then once we got to the match, still couldn't get no offense. He's trying to fight them, but he couldn't get any offense on them. He was getting his ass kicked. From a guy who comes from the streets, he sure knows, oh no, that's not that's just funny, man. And during the commercial break, he still was getting his ass kicked. He's trying to fight him up and everything, but he kept getting his ass kicked. I thought that was funny. That someone like Eddie Kingston is running his mouth about the Good Brothers and all that, and here he is, he's getting his ass kicked by them, and he's not even trying to fight back. He ended up getting some offense afterwards, but it was ridiculous how he getting his ass kicked. But I thought that was funny though. Moxley got in the match here. Even he got his ass kicked too, by the way. But he showed more of a fight than Eddie Kingston did. Oh man! But in the end, they ended up winning the match either way. The ones that got their ass kicked won the matches against the Good Brothers that were kicking ass in this match, and they end up losing at the end of the day. Wow, how did that happen? So, the Good Brothers jumps up Moxley, and Aikens trying to help, quote unquote trying to help. Kenny Omega comes out. He sits in the chair while Moxley's getting his ass kicked. Aikens, he attacks Omega from behind while he's sitting in the chair. I thought that was funny. Good Brothers goes after Kingston, and then Kingston gets ass kicked by, obviously, that's been the running theme of the show. And Kingston gets his ass kicked, and then make matters worse. They took out Eddie Kingston, wrapped around a steel chair around his ankle, and they pilmanized his ankle. It's bad enough that he got his ass kicked before the match, and he got his ass kicked even more in the match, and he got his ass kicked more else after the match. And to add more insult to injury, they pilmanized his ankle. Oh my god, man, this was not Eddie Kingston's night. So Moxley, unfortunately, was too late to save him, and then he was going to get Pillmanized, but instead of being Pillmanized, he was going to get Michael's knives, if that makes any sense. I don't think so. Or HBK's knives. Basically, if you know what I'm talking about, Kane with a steel chair wrapped around Strongest neck back in 2004. You know, crushing the neck of the throat of Shawn Michaels. And that's basically what happened to Moxley there. But then the Young Bucks came up for the save. Yeah, Young Bucks came up for the save for Jon Moxley. And that was it. I thought that was entertaining. That's my analysis of it. Everything that happened there. That was entertaining. Because of Eddie Kingston, you know, that whole thing. Oh, man. Anyways, moving on. Tony Schiavone, he welcomes Darby Allin and Sting coming out to be interviewed. And you know what that means. We'll get to that momentarily. Darby Allin says that he wants to defend his championship because he's the TNT champion. He defended that 3 times, and then your crowd's cheering for it. And he's like, no, that's a joke. He's trying to he's basically trying to say, he defended 3 times, but that's not enough. He's supposed to be he wants to be the best TNT champion, and he can't do what it pertains to just defending 3 times. And he also blames because of the whole thing with Team Taz, got in the way of that whole thing. And he says he wants to to defend it so many times. And he wants to start by paying tribute to Brody Lee, who was the greatest TNT champion of all time. And he wants to defend it against one of the Dark Order. And then we get the interruption of Lance Archer and Jake Roberts. Now, before I get to that, by the way, I'll get to it when I get to this part. Oh, wait a minute. Now that I think about this, it was this episode. I was thinking about the previous episode of Dynamite. It was actually this episode. My apologies, folks. My apologies. But hey, we'll get to this part though. So Lance Archer interrupts. And, how many times has Sting has been interrupted where it's to try and get to talk or be an interview or cut a promo? I don't know. I guess we also count how many times Sting got interrupted when just him trying to cut a promo, and while he is cutting a promo, during his promo he gets interrupted. He just always gets interrupted. That's the running theme of the show. But Lance Archer says that the internet might think Darby Allin is terrific, but he thinks he is the biggest indie horrific jokes like that. But the business has ever since and since like coffins, so much is about to put in his ass in one. And Jake Roberts says to basically tells a dad joke to Darby Allin, saying that he's a weenie, and says that the winds of change are coming, and Sting is going to get what's coming for him. And then Jake Roberts says that Lance Archer is the biggest, baddest son of a bitch in AEW, and he will take that title and shove it up your asses. Now, before we get to the whole thing with Taz, so I'm thinking maybe they're trying to set up Darby Allin and Sting versus Lance Archer and Jake Roberts in a tag team match. But then also you also have Lance Archer who wants a shot at the TNT title against Darby Allin, which that should be a fun match to see. And I'm still thinking, what Jake Roberts saying to Sting, you get what's coming to you. So yeah, there's a lot of theories here. They are trying to set up a Sting and Darby Allin versus Lance Archer and Jake Roberts match. They are trying to set up a Lance Archer versus Darby Allin match for the TNT title, or they're trying to set up a Legends match between Sting versus Jake Roberts, which is that one's a problem in itself because Jake Roberts he's gained more weight, he's a lot more older, he's a lot more slower. Can he really do anything in the match against Sting if they are planning to do a one-on-one match between those two? Because if you want to do something with Jason Roberts and make Jake Roberts look good, do what you do back in Revolution with Sting, Darby Allin versus Team Taz, the cinematic street fight that they did. Maybe you could do the same thing with Lance Archer, and Jake Roberts, where it takes to their own street fight, where it takes to their own backyard wrestling thing. Remember the backyard wrestling segments that they did with Jake Roberts and Lance Archer, when Lance Archer was killing everybody because that was his thing. Everybody dies because that's always been his thing. They could do something like that again with this time with where it ends up being cinematic and everything. That way you could still find ways to protect Jake Roberts and everything. Again, that's if they're planning on doing something like that. Which is still if they are planning on having a match here, a tag team match, I should say. But I don't know. But it's wherever folks they both. We'll see how they it be portrays. Now let's get to Team Taz. Team Taz interrupts. Yes, a lot of interruptions. And Brian Cage basically just took the mic away from Taz and says to Sting in his face that Sting continuously stuck his nose into their business after the damnedest street fight ever had, and he respects him. And Team Taz is like, wait a minute, what? And says that Ricky Starks is wrong about Sting. With or without your baseball bat, you are still an icon. And they're like, what are you talking about? This is Team Taz saying this to Brian Cage, and Brian Cage just shoves them away from them and walks away. And I came across this. Wait a minute, are we turning Brian Cage's face here? Is he going to move away from Team Taz now? Cause I don't see his thing. I don't see Team Taz breaking up. I don't see that happening at all. Team Taz breaking up. What I see here is Brian Cage moving away from Team Taz to be his own man, to be a baby face. I see that happening, and they're doing more, more dissensions as weeks go by, and we'll get to more a lot of that when we get to it. But yeah, there you go. That's basically it. Apparently they show a video package that Scorpio Sky talking about he wants to be on the poster, or something about being the poster boy of AEW. He wants to be the poster boy of AEW, but instead they want guys like Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin to be poster boys of AEW. He says he always heard that nice guys finish last, and the truth until Revolution, he won the the whole thing with Red the Brass Ring, and being someone else's moment in Darby Allin, and that he is a wrestling solvent, I think that's how you say, and he will prove that he is the best, and if he has to hurt people to do it, he will. So yeah, I had no knowledge of seeing this one. I don't remember seeing it. I remember seeing one from the next edition of AEW Dynamite, which I'll get to when we get to it, to talk about that whole thing. Just see if it was accurate or not. But I do recall something like that where it seems to that whole thing. I think I may have said something about that whole thing on the Wrestling Otaku's YouTube channel when he was covering for the Dynamite stream. Since Mr. Ricky J. couldn't do it because he had to work, and yeah. Cause I remember being part of this show for St. Patrick's Day with Mr. Ricky J's YouTube channel on that one. Especially I was my cousin, so anyways. But either way. But as far as the promo from Scorpio Sky, it was good. I enjoyed this promo. We'll see where it goes from there with him being a heel, and we'll talk more about that soon once we get close to it. What they're doing with Scorpio Sky, which I think is a little letdown, but cliffhanger there. Ray Phoenix with Pac at ringside versus Hanago with Jack Evans at ringside. Match was alright. Ray Phoenix won. Not much to say about this match at all. I mean, it was alright for what it was, but it did give me Lucha Underground vibes though, because Ray Phoenix and Hanago came from Lucha Underground, so not really much to say about that. We go backstage. We see Miro, who's not interested in facing Chuck Taylor again. And I try to remember, was there? I could have sworn there was something. I think I covered it before. Pertains to the whole thing with Miro and Kip Sabian versus Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy. It may have been on Dark, which is why I probably skipped that part too, though. Where Miro challenged them to an arcade type of match like that. I can't remember if that's how it was being worked out. But anyways, Miro's being interviewed by Alex Marvez about the whole thing, and he said he's not interested. I said to win, but you lay out the challenge. And then I think maybe Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy lay out the chat about some type of video game arcade thing they was gonna do. Which we'll get to that when we get to that review of it. But he has moved on. But Kip Sabian approaches and says that he hasn't moved on because after all they ruined his wedding, and the Miro basically let him know that he doesn't care about him before, doesn't care about him. All he cares about is to reach his goal of being the world champion. And Kip says that I want that for you too and everything. But me and my wife, his wife, know that they want to win that by any means necessary. So we want to get our wins on them and everything, right? And Miro says that he needs to remember when the bell rings, he doesn't care about again Kip Sabian, and basically all he cares about is winning. So that's basically it. Brody Jr. says he is going to accept Darby Allin's challenge by Evil Uno, saying who says maybe in about a decade. Because John Silver is going to be the one to challenge for the belt instead. Which, by the way, the way it was done with Brody Jr., -1, he was like, let me out, and that was holding him back and everything. So it was funny. But yeah, John Silver's going to get the shot though, and we'll get to him when I get ready to talk about that match. And I got a lot to say about that match too, by the way, especially what happened with John Silver. The Pinnacles show up to the dressing room of the Inner Circle, which the Inner Circle's not there. They removed the name of the Inner Circle of it, and they went into their locker room, and that was it. And we'll get some more of that on moving forward of the next reviews of it. Because now we get to the unsanctioned Lights Out match. Thunder Rosa versus Dr. Britt Baker DMD with Rebel at ringside. And let's talk about this match, folks, because this match was incredible. So basically, it was false count anywhere, by the way, 2-0. Anything goes. Rebel hits Rosa with a crutch. Rosa chases her down on the ramp. Britt Baker was a spear through the ropes to Rosa, which is nice. The Kryptonite Crunch on the stage by Britt Baker, but Rosa kicks out. Basically, the belly to back suplex. I mean, the belly to the back driver, meant to say. That's what I meant to say. Britt Baker tosses Rosa off the stage, trying to hit her with a steel chair, but Rosa moves out of the way. Rosa grabs the steel chair and throws it back into Britt Baker's face, and my God, did she ever hit her in the face? It was nasty. Rosa takes out Britt Baker with a steel chair, hits Rebel as well. Chokes Rebel with Baker, meant to say, with the steel chair. They start fighting in the front row. They're going at it in the sections, know that. Britt Baker sits up at the table afterwards, and then she goes for a curb stomp onto Thunder Rosa on the steel steps, and boy does she ever give her a curb stomp, which led Thunder Rosa bleeding from there. And it went to commercial break. After the commercial break, they came back. Baker suplexes Rosa onto a stack of steel chairs in the ring, and she failed to pay on that too. Rebel hands Baker a ladder. Thunder Rosa goes for a bulldog onto Baker face first on it. And I think to myself, maybe she's gonna bleed from there. And like, nope, she didn't bleed yet. But then also the Rosa sets the ladder onto Britt Baker in the corner that she's sitting on by. Goes for a drop kick to that crush that with the ladder on hitting the face of Britt Baker, and Britt Baker was bleeding massively. Basically, if Jim Ross, I don't remember if Jim Ross said it on commentary, but if he was on commentary, but if Jim Ross did say this on commentary, he, pertains to Britt Baker, when pertains to her bleeding all over the place with her face and all that, she was wearing the Crimson Mask. And those are nice, the visual there, which if you've seen it already, folks, on AEW, on shopaew.com, a T-shirt of Britt Baker of it, of that image of her all bleeding. It kind of reminds me of Becky Lynch, what happened with her back in, what was it, 2018? I'm gonna go 2018. Yes, it was 2018. Now I think about it. Britt Baker bites on Thunder Rosa, meant to say, bites on Thunder Rosa's cut. Super kicks her. I'm sorry, Britt Baker goes for a super kick, excuse me. And then she goes for a flatlander. And you see her cover, her face is covered with blood. And she goes for a dead fly driver, a super dead fly driver, I should say, onto the ladder. No, sorry, Thunder Rosa did that to Britt Baker. Sorry. I read that wrong. Thunder Rosa sets up a steel chair. Britt Baker catches her with a DDT. It gets her a curb stomp on. Oh my god, that was a curb. Now the curb stomp I was on the outside, I thought that was bad, but this was even brutal. That curb stomp was brutal inside the ring with the steel chair as well. Britt Rosa kicks out. I'm surprised Thunder Rosa kicked out that. But then again, Seth Rollins did that to the Fiend so many times, so that move is dead. And I don't blame Seth Rollins, by the way. I blame WWE for that shitty booking. Anyways. And then Britt Baker looks at the camera and she's smirking. That gave me the Weeknd vibe. Because if you remember the Weeknd from Blinding Lights music video, when it first starts, you see him smiling while he's bleeding. That's the visual I got from Britt Baker there. It reminds me of the Weeknd from Blinding Lights. Britt Baker goes for the Fisherman Buster. First she grabs a bag of thumbtacks, which obviously, if you've seen when you see a bag like that in this match, you know what's going to be in there. Thumbtacks, and exactly what it was. Britt Baker pulls it out, goes for a Fisherman Buster, but Rosa blocks it. Rebel comes in, but she with the crutch. Rosa ducks from it and hits her with the crutch, which pushes her to a table, by the way, which is the same table that was already set up from earlier by, I think it was either by Britt Baker or by Thunder Rosa. Britt Baker grabs Thunder Rosa, lifts her up, and Rosa escapes though, and power bombs Britt Baker onto the thumbtacks. And Baker kicks out of it. Baker then also comes back, surprises Rosa with a lockjaw. Rosa rolls through as they on the pile of taxes and all that. So she had to let go after that. She goes for super kicks, Baker to Rosa, which has her falling on the ropes of the apron. On the apron. Climbs back on top, but Rosa cuts her off. Gets her in the fire thunder driver through a table on the outside and gets the win. So your winner of this lights out unsanctioned match, which was a great brutal match between those two in the main event of Dynamite, Thunder Rosa. And Britt Baker won me over, folks. I can't believe it took me. I can't. And it's a shame too, because it had it pertains to these type of matches, which I know a lot of people are not fans of these type of matches. I'm a fan of those type of matches. It pertains to watching Japanese wrestling, these type of matches. It pertains to AEW wrestling type of matches. Even back in the days of the Attitude Era, and there were even days when WCW did this too, by the way. It pertains to when Cactus Jack was there. During that time when Nasty Boys, and I can't remember who else was there too, by the way, or who teamed up with Cactus Jack. Man, I can't remember that match what it was, but I remember watching that match and I love that match. I just can't remember who the tag team partner was. Cactus Jack was, but you got women's in these summer matches to do this too. We don't see that very often, like Lita and can't remember, Lita and who? I'm probably thinking of somebody else, but I'm pretty sure I saw Lita on any type of matches too before. But you also have Trish Stratus and Victoria in this type of match. Ivory and Tori, not Tori Wilson, but Tori, who used to be part of DX, by the way, and used to be the whole thing with Kane and X-Pac, and she her character was that she was influenced, and she was a fangirl of Sable. What else can I put in there? Man, it's like say you know, I guess you could say this too, you know, even though it doesn't really compare, but Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch are their last women's standing match that they had from 2018. Even though Asuka versus Nikki Cross from NXT. That was brutal too, but no blood though. But that was that type of hardcore match too as well. But you know, even in the indie scenes where it takes to women's wrestling, doing these type of matches too, and especially where it takes to Kaylee Ray versus you know, Viper, who's now you know, what's the name? Piper Niven, I think. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched NXT UK, because that's where it is from that whole thing. But anyways, with these type of matches, it had to take this length for Britt Baker for me to finally get you know, to finally you know, to give her props and all that. Now, I mean, I'll give her props, you know, when she came back, you know, when it takes her you know, finally getting better in the ring. She has been improving, and her character is really you know, starting to win me over in a way, especially when it pertains to her the waiting room thing that she did, which I don't know why they stopped doing that. I thought that was entertaining. You know, minus the by Rebel. Man. But yeah, you know, Britt Baker has to take this length just for me to finally give her that praise. And then we'll get to what happened, what she said prior afterwards, more to this whole thing. And I'll get to more of that. I got a lot to say about this too, about what AEW did with that one. So, which it was not needed, but well, that's a cliffhanger there too. But Britt Baker, she really showcased what she can do. Thunder Rosa, she did too, but Thunder Rosa is really that type of woman that people love anyways, and we know how great she is in the ring. It's someone like Britt Baker who was really the, you know, the rising star of this match. Even though she came out of this match you know, as you know, she came up short in this match. The win don't count, obviously, but in the record books it will say that Thunder Rosa did beat Britt Baker, even though the win and loss doesn't really count for Britt Baker and for Thunder Rosa. So especially for Thunder Rosa, who's not even you know, signed to this company. So, but I love this match though, and I'm glad this was the main event, because these women showed off what the main event was. It was the first main event, and they didn't disappoint. Same thing with what happened with Trish Stratus and Lita when they first main event Raw. They didn't disappoint either back in 2005, I meant to say. Wait, was it 2005 or was it late 2004? I would say it was late 2004 or like early 2005. It was one of those years that happened. But either way, still, just you know, incredible that this happened. So yeah, Britt Baker, she did win me over, and I'm proud. I'm very proud of her. She finally you know, she won me over. And that will conclude your AEW Dynamite results, folks. Pertains to the show from, pertains also St. Patrick's Day Smash, the show from March 27th, 2021. 6 matches for the Tomorrow Wrestling. 6 matches. In my overall strength for the show, because of the main event alone, I'm going to go with a 10 out of 10. amazing main event. To a show that was kind of lackluster, but this main event saved this show for what it could have been to me, a 6 out of 10. So, or maybe a 5 out of 10, because it was, yeah. But these women's really boosted up for me, and I'm proud of not just reference to Britt Baker Britt Baker performance and Don Rosa's performance, but even Rebel deserves props in this too, because she had a hand in this too. So, and that being said, folks, thank you for watching for It's Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets. Take care.